Well, hello. Today is May 4th, also known as Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And so, John, may the 4th be with you.
Oh, okay. So I have my corny joke from Rob and Della, and that is, why do ants not get the coronavirus?
Oh, why?
Because they have antibodies.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's
Now we'll
good.
move on to deeper and richer subjects,
Okay.
probably.
So,
Hey, Lou Ponder.
here we are today coming to you from the lodge. We're trying to pick out different places each time where we can check in with you and be in different places around the campus. And we've learned to try to find places indoors because either the wind or the air conditioning often interferes with our audio. So here we are today, and we know you're out there, but I wish you were right here where we could reach out and hug you. So consider yourself hugged and smiled upon also. This week I thought about what I might say the next time we did a check-in, and I remembered this old hippie by the name of Richard Alpert. I first became familiar with Richard Alpert in the 70s when I was in college, and he wrote a book called Be Here Now. And the first chapter says something about money yoga. I don't remember anything about this book except that Be Here Now was about being present. And this was just a thing that he would say. Well, Richard Alpert went to India and studied with a yogi, and he changed his name to Baba Ram Das. When Baba Ram Das was in his 70s, he had a stroke. And when he had the stroke, he was aware of the stroke, but he couldn't talk about it because of left and right brain. So as he recovered and came out of it, he wrote another book as a sequel to Be Here Now, and he entitled it Still Here. So he contributed a lot to what we know about brain science and neuroplasticity and recovery from strokes. And I looked to him as an inspiration. But there's another thing that Baba Ram Das has contributed, and it's a thing that I hear around here. And I hear it in a variety of circles. He's known for saying, we are all just walking each other home. And recently, Marion Ward told me that it's a thing that many of the people in her circle have said to each other, and it's just a phrase that really says a lot, especially right now when we look around and we see that here we are in these challenging times and we are all just walking each other home. So we'd like to turn to that and talk a little bit today about some of the ways that we're walking with each other.
Well, one of the ways that I witnessed today was in Cluster 9 here at Highland Farms. Edith Jenkins turned 100 years old today, and all her neighbors in Cluster 9 got together with noisemakers, pots and pans and spoons and other loud noisemakers, and we all sang and clapped and cheered for her as to honor her 100 years of life. That to me was, who said we can't celebrate in the middle of a pandemic? Walking to Edith's, I ran into two folks. One woman said, "Oh, it's such a beautiful spring day, John. If this awful thing had to happen, it couldn't have happened at a better time."
Aww.
So, you know, she was looking for the beauty in the midst of these challenging days. And then along came a fella on his bicycle who said, "You know, the great thing about these masks, we don't have to care any longer whether we're dressed up enough. And I said, we don't? And he said, well, we residents don't. You staff still have to care. So
Yeah,
just 3 vignettes from the day
Yeah.
about good news.
yeah. Well, thank you, John.
Hey, Francis. Hey, Lou.
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Hi. John and I had had the best of intentions to do our check-in on Friday. And Friday, a lot of things happened. And one of the things that happened early in the morning is that Pat Miller died. And it sort of set up a lot of different, a chain of different things to pay attention to, and in some ways stopped us and gave us an opportunity to think about how precious life is and how precious relationships are. And I received a phone call that morning from Marilyn Rebholz, and Marilyn said, Pat Miller has died. Can't we have a candle or something? And I said, yes, we can have a candle. And I will get more candles to put around to honor these lives that we are really cherishing and giving thanks to God for in this time. But this was Marilyn's idea, to bring a candle over, a battery candle, and I put it on a timer so it comes on, and it's in the lodge now. And we'll have more candles, so you can look for candles to accompany the roses while we continue to consider the ways that we will honor the lives of people that have lived among us that we have loved.
Is it okay to share the good news you heard about Pat's caregiver?
Well,
Is-
I don't know, but I think, yeah, why not? I mean, it's not a rumor,
No, it's the
so
real
I think
thing.
we could start it, yeah.
Right, well,
Yeah.
Pat's
You
sister,
already knew.
Pat's sister stopped me and said, good news
Yeah.
today. And I thought, good news? Well, let's hear it.
Yeah,
So she just told me that Pat's caregiver, Timby, or some newer, Maggie, got engaged, and how excited Mary was for Maggie, because Maggie really became like a part of their family in
Yes.
caring for Pat.
and I heard the news this morning also and was just thrilled and wondered if we might share it, but didn't really have permission. So there's never anything wrong with the truth, especially when it's good news.
Exactly,
In
yes.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So, I heard a little story this week that's not my story. It belongs to John Brown, who's a Presbyterian pastor in the denomination. And he said that when his daughter started kindergarten, the parents were all gathered in the back of the room. And the teacher said to the kindergarten student, she gave them a series of questions that were designed to be challenges. And the question was, if you enter a dark room and you don't know what to do, what would be your best solution? And the 5-year-old thought about it. Her daddy, John, was sitting in the back of the room, and she said, you hold somebody's hand. We might have thought, you turn on a light, but everything is better when you have someone's hand to hold. And so we leave you today with that thought. Let's continue to hold each other's hands and step forward into the unknown as it becomes a little bit more known. And know that we are loved and we are in this together and we are connected.
Thank you, Lynn. Amen.
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 Amen.